Is the mic rolling? Is my recording? I'm not sure if I had a 5-second timer or if it started already. But if it is a 5-second timer, well, hello there. Welcome back to another Pokemon Master Datamine analysis video. Now, before we get started, I have to say, of course, as always, spoilers. I'm going to be spoiling content of Pokemon Masters for the end of, well, yeah, this is the end of, yeah, technically the end of July, and also basically throughout the month of August of 2024. So if you don't want to be spoiled about Pokemon content in that time period, click away now. But if you're okay to be spoiled or you already know what's going on, then follow along with me as I go ahead and talk about the content. And of course, it's just, like I always mention, it's just my thoughts and opinions of these characters. I might have bad takes, but I just want to talk about the characters and tell you all my opinions of the characters. And so we'll be doing that right now. You've been warned, spoilers. All right. Let me go ahead and switch that there. All right. And so we just got our data mine for the end of the end of July 2024. And we have a few new sync pairs. This is the month before anniversary. Anniversary is actually next month in August. I'm recording this in July, but anniversary is at the end of August. So another big disclaimer for y'all. This is pre-anniversary, and people always talk about anniversary having the best units. You gotta save for anniversary, and so I'll be very careful about this patch. Be very careful. It's gonna be a lot of new characters, a lot of reruns that are really good as well. And of course, you just have to be careful, knowing that next month is anniversary. They do give a lot of currency during anniversary. They do that. So just want to let you know. But also, if people say like, "Oh, it's bait for anniversary," these characters are bait. Your favorite character is never bait. So if they're releasing a favorite character or rerunning a character that you really want that you didn't get the first time around, now's your chance to get those characters. And again, if it's your favorite character, then it's not bait. You know, keep in mind though that there is better stuff next month, probably in terms of power level and everything. And so if you're rolling this month, you know, the new content here that you see, if you're rolling because it's your favorite unit, that's not bait in my opinion. But if you're rolling because you think these units are really good and maybe they're not your favorite units, then I'll maybe recommend holding off for anniversary, because anniversary is always banger. We're going 5 years anniversary, by the way. This is not just any anniversary, it's 5 years anniversary. So I think might be a little bit more special than the previous ones. But let's talk about the content. We're getting Ultra Beast. More Ultra Beasts. We're getting Elio and Celine alt. So let's go ahead and start off with the Elio alt here. Very cool. This is, I think, Elio's first like real alt. I think, no, he got an Espeon. So this is a new alternate, I guess, design of the character. So that's very fun. And give me one moment here. Alright, I was recording that I was recording this video. I'm like, I set up a little bit of time I can record today for a YouTube video. Then of course, all of a sudden, family stuff came up, like not even 4 minutes into the video. And then literally in the middle of family stuff, more family stuff it came up, and oh my gosh. Okay, anyways, I'm back, and what was I talking about? Elio, something alt? Yeah, I don't even remember. All right, well, new support character here, EX Roll Sprint. In my opinion, I think this is kind of the best combo. EX Roll, normal roll is support, and EX Roll is sprint. This is always nice because you do want to EX with a support sync pair first, so you get the extra buff. And sprint is always nice just so you can accelerate the next sync move, which would generally be your striker or tech unit, right? So this is the best kind of combo here for EX Roll. And he is using Stakataka. Elio with Stakataka, who is going to be a focal type rock. So you can already see some Olivia and Professor Kikui synergy, right, already. And first ability here raises the defense, especially defense, by 6 after you use a trainer move first time in battle. So that's super good. You can just raise this Pokemon's defense all the way up, which is really strong for a support character. Also, set allied / entire field effect team attack up and special attack up 9. The description for skills suck nowadays, and it just really sucks. So I'm not even gonna say the name of the passive, because if I say the name of the passive, you're not gonna know what it means. I have to describe it, right? So raise attack and special attack of all activating pairs by 1 when activates a field effect of any kind. It could be your field effect that affects the entire field, or your field, or you know what I mean, right? So any field effect, you can raise attack and special attack of all the ally sync pairs, which it depends. This ability depends on how much field effects you have, right? And then impervious stats cannot be lowered. That's always nice to have on a character. Stats can't be lowered, so like for example, your defense can't be lowered. So you'll always have max defense. Super nice after you use a trainer move. And then guaranteed sync move. In my opinion, I don't think any of the guaranteed cookie skills have been really that good. But anyways, really high defense. So any Pokemon with like over 300 defense for special defense and defense is really good. And then when you unlock potential, even more defense. So really high defense for this character and decent XP. So yeah, anything over 350 defense is just really bulky. So this is a really defensive Pokemon, which is super nice. As a tank, you want. So one of the passives is raising special attack and attack of all ally sync pairs when you use a field. So let's see what field options you have. You have Alola Solidarity. So basically, you use it, you increase the physical move next effect and the special move next effect by 1. And then you also get the Alola Circle Defensive, which is basically your ally sync pairs do more damage and take less damage the more Alola sync pairs you have. Okay, so this is a really good. So you can already see how you can stack defense. You can raise your defense to max. You can use this to buff your ally sync pairs, but also to buff your own defense, which is super nice. And that also raises attack and special attack. You also have a ginormous Rock Tomb, which activates when your defense is raised to maximum stat. So basically what you'd want to do is you want to use Alola Solidarity or Ultra Endurance first, and then you can start using your ginormous Rock Tombs. And because you have Impervious, it never deactivates, right? And this move, you can use it only twice, alright? So it hits all ally sync pairs, or hits all opponent sync pairs, and you can only use it twice. But it lowers target speed, doesn't really matter in my opinion. And then it activates Rock Zone. And so you get Rock Zone, and it also increases the physical move up next effect and special up next effect. So you have a lot of that effect going on here with Alola Solidarity and Ginormous Rock Tomb. But this is really good because it summons Rock Zone. So not only do you get Alola Circle, which increases your damage a little bit, you also get Rock Zone, which increases your damage a lot. So again, synergizing with Olivia here. Olivia, one of the first 5 stars, or I should say the first 5 stars in the game. Really, really good sync pair to use with Olivia. And Ultra Endurance recovers all HP of all ally sync pairs by 20%, essentially like a mini potion all, and it also restores the user's HP by 20% of maximum. So very similar to Neo Champion Blue with Zapdos, right? That attack that heals a lot, and applies gradually healing too. And so this sync pair just has really high defense, can raise attack and special and physical move next up next effect by a lot. And yeah, so really a lot of defensive options here with the healing and with the Alola Solidarity, but a lot of offensive possibilities too. With the Rock Zone, with the again the Alola Circle does increase damage by a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit here, 5%, depending on how much sync pairs you have, right? So that's really good. And then for the sync grid here, the problem with Stakataka is that with you need 5 out of 5 copies. With 5 out of 5 copies, you get the very important, in my opinion, Alola Circle Extension 5. Which do you get? Yeah, you get at that amount of copies here. And you also get the Rock Zone extension. Now, in my opinion, because this sync pair is a defensive sync pair, it's not super important to have the extension of Alola Circle and Rock Zone Circle, because you can always kind of time those Rock Zone and your Alola Circle when you are going to use your strong moves, right? Because you don't need Rock Zone and Alola Circle during the beginning of the battle. So you can kind of save it towards like the mid of the battle, the end of the battle, and you can summon them. And so while it's nice to have these extension, For the extension, you're gonna need 5 out of 5 copies, which is a lot to invest into this unit. And so it might be best to, kind of ignore the extensions. But yeah, if you really want this sync pair to be strong, 5 out of 5 copies is a lot commitment there for the extensions of both Rock Zone and Alola Circle. Also, built-in Vigilance is always nice so that you can opt for a different lucky skill, one that maybe resists status changes or status moves. And this sync pair also has an ability to further raise attack with hit team attack up 9, or special attack with hit team special attack up 9. Those are super nice to continue to raise your fully raise your attacks, right? And also Team Sharp entry 1, you can kind of raise some crit here. But yeah, basically this sync grid, in my opinion, is either 5 out of 5 copies or 1 out of 5 copies, in my opinion. There's really no in between, in my opinion. You kind of want 5 out of 5 copies. I guess 4 out of 5 copies, you get Rock Zone extension. But honestly, I'd rather the Alola Circle extension, because that not only increases your damage, but it lowers the damage you take. So yeah, this is a sync pair that, 1 copy is fine. 1 copy is completely fine. But 5 copy, you're going to want that extension, right? But that is Stack Attacker. I think Stack Attacker is a really good defensive sync pair. Very good defensive unit with a few buff capabilities, but mainly this is going to be a tank that provides Alola Circle and Rock Zone. So very good in that sense there, right? The next character, of course, you have Elio alt. You're going to need a Celine alt. You got the Celine alt. Celine alt is going to be Strike and Tech. Again, Strike, with Tech EX roll for a Strike sync pair, that's always nice. That means that you're going to do a lot of damage to all the opposing, Pokemon. And so that's really good. It means that getting bonuses, getting like sync grid pairs or sync grid tiles that increase your sync move damage is even more important, more impactful, because it hits the side Pokemon more. Okay? So Celine is going to use Nihilego. It's the hat Pokemon. It's like the hat and cape Pokemon. So surprisingly, Luzamine doesn't get this Pokemon, but Celine gets it. Alola to You passive raises the chance of lowering stat values, and when you lower stat, it's doubled. So there you go. How is this relevant? It's relevant for Acid, because Acid is going to have a higher likelihood of lowering special defense. I'm not sure if it's 100%, but, it hits all targets, so it's going to be decent percent of hitting all targets, and it lowers it by 2. And also, this Pokemon knows a Nihil Meteor Beam, which also, I think, lowers... Does this attack lower... Yeah, it lowers the target's special defense by 1 rank if it is poisoned or badly poisoned. And so this likelihood is always 100% when the enemy is poisoned, but it will lower it by 2. And keep in mind, this also hits all opponents. And so you only need to use this attack a few times to fully lower your opponent's special defense, which is super nice, right? So that's how the Alola to You passive kind of hits. And poison type hit poison 9. Oh, fantastic. These passive names are fantastic. Leaves the target poison when you use a poison attack. So basically, you use Acid. It hits all targets. It poisons everybody. 100%. Fantastic. Lower special defense? Maybe. And then you use the Meteor Beam. And now you're 100% lowering special defense if they're poisoned, which you will poison them with Acid. Right? So that's kind of the combo there. And then the last passive is Soften Up 1. Sync moves land crit more easily, which is always nice. Really high special attack here, 500, almost 500 with the base, and then with EX roll unlocked and max 5-star, you get 550, which is super high special attack. So this Pokemon is going to be a hard hitter here. We've already talked about Acid. This Pokemon has Alola Analysis, so it raises the special move up next effect, which it is what it is, and it applies the Alola Circle special, and so now your special attacks do more damage, and your it reduces the amount of special attack damage you take. So you're basically, your special defense is a little bit raised, and your special attacks do more damage. And this is pretty good here, right? And then we have the Nihil Meteor Beam. And so the activation effect is when the user special attack is raised. So how do you raise your special attack? Ultra Opportunity. Raise special attack by 4, raise crit by 3, and increase the special move up next effect by 1. Again, not super impactful. It makes a little bit of extra damage here with the Alola analysis and Ultra Opportunity. But at the end of the day, I don't think this effect does that much. Isn't that impactful in my opinion. But regardless, the Nihil Meteor Beam is... Oops, I pressed the wrong button. The Nihil Meteor Beam, it's a charge move. So it's like Solar Beam, essentially. Let's just say a Solar Beam. It takes 2 turns to activate and then hit. However, if you have a circle in play, then the user will attack right away. Now, this is interesting because you can set your own circle, Lola analysis. You can set your own circle, which makes it so that your Meteor Beam hits, in 1 turn. Or you could pair the sync pair up with Stakataka, who is rock type, right? And so you get that rock synergy, you get the rock zone synergy, you get the Alola analysis defensive synergy, you get the Alola circle defensive synergy, and then you get the Alola circle special synergy. And so yeah, you probably always have the Meteor Beam up and or running if you play both Elio alt and Celine alt here. And again, yeah, lower special defense here, right? And an Ultra Opportunity, keep in mind that it raises crit by 3 stats. And because of Soften Up 1, you'll always land crits. You'll always land your crits, which is super nice. And then it only raises special attack by 4. So keep in mind that actually this Pokemon can't fully raise a special attack. And so again, with Stakataka, it raises special attack. So you can fully raise your special attack. You can see the synergy between the Elio and Celine alt, right? The synergy is in there. All right, very good. And now, for some reason, EX Sync effect implements field. I'm not sure if that's true because I think this sync pair says it's strike, right? It's strike or is it zone? Wait a minute. Is it strike or... Yeah, it's strike. So Serebii is wrong there. I think Celine alt... In my opinion, if you want to 5-5 one of these characters, if you're rolling for both Elio and Celine alt, I'd more lean towards Celine being 5-5 copies. The problem is Celine is strike pairs, and I feel like more often than not, you want to use your candies on strike sync pairs. So you might not have a lot of strike candies left because you use them on all the good units. But the reason why I think this is good is because you want the Alola Circle special to be extended. The reason why is because with the defensive unit, with Stakataka, you can always just use the zone because you're not doing damage with that unit anyways, right? You can just use the zone whenever. But this unit is going to be doing a lot of your damage, and so you want to keep attacking with this unit, and so you want to spend less turns using your extend. If you want to spend less turns using your Alola analysis. Does that make sense? Right? So you want to keep this sync pair fighting for longer, and so you want its zones to be lasting longer, so you don't need to refresh them. And indeed, does that make sense? A few other sync grids that I unlocked is the Alola C special move up. So every time you use a move in the Alola Circle special, or it just powers up your sync moves when you're in the special circle, right? And then also I have ramming speed, because with Toxic Hit 9 you can lower your opponent's speed by 1 if you hit them when they're poisoned, and then you can raise your normal move. You can also go with, I think here, powers up sync move when the special defense is lowered. This might be good here too if you want to go more sync move damage. And keep in mind, I am -5 energies because I haven't really talked about this ever since the new change. But you can unlock more energies. You can unlock more energies by investing in more co-op sync orbs. And because you have because this sync grid is a 5 out of 5 copy, that means you can at maximum unlock 10 more energies, which means you have enough to get this, right? Does that make sense? And so here, we're just kind of maxing out on the sync move damage because, again, if you're going to unlock the EX roll, your sync moves are going to do tons of damage, so why not just go for the tiles that make your sync moves do more damage? You can also go the ramming speed route which will make your meteor beam, your normal meteor beams do more damage. And indeed, so a few sync grid tiles here. And yeah, you'll want 5 out of 5 copies so that you can get this. Indeed, I'm not going to be talking about the rest of the sync grids. It just depends on how you want to build a character. But yeah, I think if you want to build a character 5 out of 5, I think this is a great option here. But you'll probably have a lot of good rock types on your account anyway, so maybe not. But yeah, I think the, what's it, Nihiligo? I think Nihiligo is an interesting unit. Indeed. And then we have Nemona. Nemona getting a Signa suit. I believe this is the first Signa suit for a Paldean unit, which is very exciting. Nemona gets the first, which makes sense. She was the first. Did I say Alola? I mean the first Paldean character. So I guess it makes sense that Nemona gets the first Signa suit because she is the first Paldean character. Regardless, she has the strike roll with the sprint EX roll. This is quite good in my opinion. Or I should say, this is good for battle rally in my opinion, because I feel like a lot of battle rallies I've run into, there's always that strike and sprint, bonus combined. And so Nemona is going to be good in that type of content because you get extra points. But strike and sprint is always good together because it just makes it so that your sync moves, you can kind of chain them faster together. And she has Screamtail. Oh my gosh, look at how cute this guy is. Screamtail is, if you haven't seen my Pokemon Scarlet playthrough, Screamtail is my favorite, probably my favorite Paradox Pokemon out of all the Paradox Pokemon. So she has Screamtail, which is very exciting. Paldea Pride Master. Yep, so she is a Master Sync pair. Basically, Paldea Pride is just your basic Paldean, it's physical? Physical reduces, it's not your basic, it's physical. So this is more of the physical buff where you do more physical damage, you take less physical damage, and the more Paldean Sync pairs you have, the better. My bad is actually physical, which makes sense because Screamtail is going to be a physical striker here. I say it makes sense, but also doesn't make sense because Screamtail in the game is actually the most defensive out of the ancient Paradox Pokemon. Like literally all the other Paradox ancient Pokemon are offensive, only Screamtail is defensive, so kind of weird how Screamtail is an offensive in this game. But regardless, let's not get into the details of things. Ancient Scream increases a physical move up next effect by 2 when you use booster energy or when an ally turns the weather to sunny. So let's go ahead and look at booster energy here. Booster energy raise physical and special up by 1. Technically, the special up by 1 is useless on this particular sync pair. It might be useful for Fletcher main if we get Fletcher main in the future. But yes, booster energy will raise physical move up next effect by 3 if you include the passive. But if your ally use Sunny Day, like if you have Ho-Oh and Morty who use Sunny Day, or you have a Tapu Bulu and a Sorola who use Sunny Day, then Screamtail also gets some benefits from that. And Screamtail can also use Sunny Day on its own, which means it can buff itself as well with the booster energy or Sunny Day. It also has the passive Energetic Student Council President. Reduce sync pair countdown by 1 when you use a status move. Alright, so I think only Sunny Day counts as a status move. I don't know if the trainer moves count as a status move. I could be wrong at that. So you're not going to really feel this that much, the reducing a sync move countdown by 1. Applies Paldea Circle physical to ally sync pairs when you use a status move. Now that, in my opinion, is relevant. Now, reading this again, it says status move, so I think it has to be Sunny Day. Again, I'm not sure if Booster Energy in Our Greatest Battle counts as a status move. Again, I could be wrong in this. And if it does count as a status move, then holy crap, this Pokemon can use 5 circles, right? But I'm just going to be under the assumption that it only counts Sunny Day as a status move. And so, yeah, if you use Sunny Day, not only do you get the increase of the Ancient Scream, but you also get the increase of a circle. So this Pokemon can summon circles by its passive, which is super nice. So you get a Paldea Circle, which is physical, which again is similar to the Paldea Pride Master passive skill. It probably increases your physical damage. It reduces the amount of physical damage you take. And then Fruitful Attack. So your attacks are always your attacks are always crits. and you can charge your move gauge by 1 every time a move hits, which is pretty good because your move costs 4 move gauges. All right. Stat distribution on this Pokemon, honestly not good. The attacks aren't really that high. I mean, 400 after you get your EX roll. It's high, but it's not super high. Defense is pretty low. Again, it doesn't make sense because Screamtail is actually the most defensive Pokemon. Speed is high, I suppose, and HP is decent, I suppose. But yeah, the stats on this Pokemon aren't actually that good, in my opinion. So I already discussed Booster Energy, Sunny Day. Our greatest battle, raise attack by 6, raise speed by 4. Speed is nice, attack is nice. It doesn't raise crit because you always crit anyways, right? So that's pretty good. So this Pokemon can actually raise his attack to max, which makes sense as a Master Sync pair. And then it has Ferocious Play Rough, and activates when you use any move 1 time. Deactivation cannot be deactivated. So basically, it's a buddy move that you can use infinite amount of times. Like it's weird because usually buddy moves have a deactivation effect. Yeah, sometimes it's relevant, but this move basically doesn't really have a deactivation condition, and so it's just a move that never misses. Essentially, like I just treat this as a normal move that never misses. So, because you're probably always gonna start off with Our Greatest Battle or Sunny Day, you know. And then the attack never misses. Again, is a buddy move. Buddy moves never miss. Lowers the target's attack and defense by 1. Relevant because that means you're going to take less physical damage because of not only the circle, the passive, but also because you're physically lowering their physical attack. And then it also lowers their defense, which again makes you do even more physical damage. And then the power of this move is not lower even if there's multiple targets. So that's super strong. That just makes it so that this move consistently does high damage, no matter the amount of targets. And of course, this move costs 4, but you get one. You get a move gauge back because of Fruitful Attack, right? So super strong unit. You just send this guy out, use like Our Greatest Battle, and I think it doesn't summon the circle, so you have to use Sunny Day to get the circle, and then you get the Play Rough out, and then bang, 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 you know. Screamtail, I also did a 5 out of 5 sync grid because I think you want the Paldean Circle. Is there Paldean Circle extension on this character? Oh, apparently there isn't. Well, it's fine because you can always get it when you use a status move. I guess Sunny Day. Again, I'm not sure if Sunny Day. I know Sunny Day is a status move, but I'm not sure if like Booster Energy is a special move or a status move. I'm gonna need to test that out when this character comes out. And but anyway, what for the tiles I want? Oh, is this a 3? Oh, this character doesn't have a 5 out of 5 copy. Oh, my bad. No, my bad. This character is only 3 out of 3 copies. Which again, minus 30 energy makes sense because if you're gonna have this character at 30 out of 30 copies, you can unlock 6 more energies, and so you have enough energy to get the sync grade. And what I decided to do is power up the sync move when Paldea Circle is in play. So more sync move damage. And then Haymaker, even more sync move damage the more your attack is raised. Again, you can fully raise your attack with one press of a button, so that should be pretty easy. Your attack can get lowered if you have Headstrong, you know, kind of relevant. More sync grid damage titles, or sync move damage tiles. And then also ally set YTZ physical up 1-9. Oh yeah, fantastic name for that right there. And basically, you can increase your physical move up next effect when an ally activates a weather, terrain, or zone effect. And so if you're using your Sunny Day or Booster Energy, if you use Sunny Day, then you get 1. And yeah, and it's any ally when ally activates. So if you have another ally that can use Sunny Day or a terrain or a zone, right? And there you go, you get extra. I guess that's not really relevant. Again, other sync grids here, you can have like a Sunny Day build, which might be good. But yeah, I think Nemona's a good unit here. I think Nemona's even better if Booster Energy and Our Greatest Battle can activate the circle, then I think this unit's even better. That means that you don't need to use Sunny Day. Because Sunny Day technically doesn't increase, like this Pokemon doesn't, unless you go for the sync grid tiles, Sunny Day doesn't exactly make this Pokemon stronger. I guess you can, you know, Solar Flare passive, or Solar Flare skill, I should say. I think it's, yeah, but yeah, at the end of the day, Sunny Day isn't that good on this Pokemon in particular because all you really get is the circle and extra physical move up next effect. So it would be nice if Booster Energy and Our Greatest Battle activate the circle effect. So you can Our Greatest Battle and then keep on play roughing until you run out, and then you boost your energy, keep on play roughing until you run out of circle, then boost your energy again, and but I'm not exactly sure how it works. But yeah, I absolutely love Screamtail, and so this is gonna be a fun unit for me, perhaps. Next unit is Arven. We got Arven finally, so we got Nimona, we got let's call her Penny, and we got Arven. So I got the three dudes. Arven is going to be support, which is good, and EX roll tech, which I personally think is useless. So I would not recommend unlocking the EX roll for tech, because I mean you're probably always gonna sync with Arven to start off your battle, but you really don't care if he does extra damage, in my opinion. Regardless, he has a Mabo Stiff, of course, and trusty Arven's Choco-Block Cheer. Choco-Block Cheer. Yeah, Choco-Block sounds very close to another word that I don't want to say, so that's it's a weird name for a passive. Reduces MP by 1 of the user's move that has a berry effect, and grants the following when the user HP is half or below when it's hit by a move or sync move. So restores all ally sync pairs by 30%, and restores own HP by 20%. So yeah, this is very similar to Victor Ingredient, where they have Citrus Berry, but you don't want to use Citrus Berry. You wanna have Citrus Berry trigger the passive. So basically, if you get hit below half your HP, 1 use of Citrus Berry is gone out of 3, and then you get to raise your HP. You get to restore all your ally sync pairs HP and Mabus's HP by additional 20%. So that's a lot of HP being recovered. Herba Mythica effects. So under certain conditions, damage is reduced when there's no berry left. So basically, if you've used all your citrus berries, you'll just take less damage. Which makes sense. Like the first few hits, you'll take a lot of damage, but then after you're healed up, use all your citrus berry, you'll take less damage. And then the last passive is whenever this Pokemon hits an enemy that has a restraint on them, the restraint effect is something you see from Nessa and from Signasuit. What's her name? Signasuit Serena. Effect that you've seen. Oh, and Decidueye. Celine and Decidueye also had that. You get to raise one of these stats by random when you hit a restrained enemy. Stat-wise, again, pretty decent HP and defense. Over 300 defense and over 800 HP is really strong. I say decent. This is a really strong defensive unit here, with really high healing potential. And when they can't heal no more, they have really high, they get really tanky, right? So bite, they can flinch. Citrus berry, it's the effect right there that we've already talked about. Bounce back, jaw lock. So when the user use any move once, deactivation effect cannot be deactivated. So again, it's one of those weird attacks that once again, you literally just can't use this attack first. That's it. Yeah, once you use literally anything else, you can use this attack and it never deactivates. So again, one of those weird buddy moves that in my opinion shouldn't be a buddy move at all. Regardless, it never misses. It applies the restraint effect to the target and the user. I actually misspoke. This only activates against a restraint. But anyways, that's how you get this passive to activate. You can raise your own stats by using the bounce back lock or jaw lock first, right? And if you basically have citrus berries left, like if you haven't used them all from your passive, if you have them left, what it does is it actually you eat a citrus berry, and it raises the physical move next up effect by all your ally sync pairs by 2. Alright, I'm pretty sure you get a heal from this too. When you use this attack, you get a heal from the citrus berry because you're going to eat it. And also, if you have no citrus berries MP left when you use this move, if you use this move with no citrus berries left, keep in mind that you will not be increasing the physical move up next effect when you do that. But when you use this move when you have no citrus berries left, it will restore 10% of maximum HP. So you're going to get a little bit of heal back even if you have no more citrus berries left. And then here you go. So raise the attack and crit all async berries by 2. If you use this twice, you can fully raise crit and almost fully raise attack. However, it raises attack and defense of all async berries by 2 if the user is restrained. Alright, so do you get the strategy here? You use here we go, or here you go, and then you use a bounce back jaw lock because you can, because of the activation condition. You restrain yourself, and then you use here you go again. And if you use it a second time, you're going to be restrained, and so you raise your attack by 4, meaning that you'll raise everyone's attack by 6 after your third move, and your defense will also be raised by 2, and your crit will be max. And indeed, so that's how that works. Kind of the sequencing you want to do with this, I think. So and then for sync grid tiles, again, a 3 out of 5 copies. I really am not the biggest fan of the 4 out of 5 and 5 out of 5 sync grid tiles. I don't think they're that strong, and I don't think you really need to invest in a 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 5 Mabostiff. Unless you really like Arvin and Mabostiff, that's fine. I went for the tile raising more stats, because you can raise stats. It's basically just the same as the passive that it has. So you just get double of that passive. So again, if you hit opponents that are restrained, you can raise all your async pairs stats by even more. Really good for raising defense, special defense, and speed. Right. Also have built-in vigilance in the sync grid, so you can use any other lucky skill that you want. And sync damage guard, so even more defensive after you use a sync move. There are also a few other good tiles like impervious to not lower your stats. Bite aggravation is also interesting if you want to be a flincher. You have the opportunity to do. And safety net is always good too, to apply enduring to all your ally sync pairs after you use a sync move. Honestly, that might be better than sync damage guard. I actually didn't even notice that. I like endurance more than the sync damage guard, because that could be anything. You could just lose it to like an earthquake that does no damage to all your Pokemon. So yeah, safety net's always really good in my opinion. Indeed. So that's Mabosniff. I think Mabosniff is a really interesting Pokemon. It's like, okay, what do you want to do? Do you want to go the defensive, kind of the defensive option, where you don't actually use the bounce back lock, or maybe you use this move once, so that you can restrain your enemy so that you can get the passive, right? But you could really take advantage of this first passive and just recover a bunch of HP, right? Just recover a bunch of HP. Or you can go all in with the bounce back jaw lock. Using this 3 times can raise the physical move up next effect by like 6. So you can have a lot of, extra damage by doing this 3 times. And, even if you run out of citrus berries, sure, you can't heal yourself from the first passive. But you're going to take a lot less damage from the second passive, and you can still heal yourself with 10 HP at a time, or 10% at a time. And so I feel like there's a few different ways that you can approach this character. Do you want to go more offensive? You want to use a lot of the bounce back jaw lock. Or you want to go more defensive. In that case, you're probably going to be using a lot of bites. And this move also only costs 1 move gauge, which is pretty insane. Pretty insane. A buddy move that never misses, that only costs 1 move gauge, that does 150 damage base. Holy, that's pretty good. Right. And of course, this character can also fully buff your attack and crit. So that's also very nice too. So Mabosniff is actually, Arvin I think is actually a really strong unit in that sense. The other few units we have are blue. Blue is going to be from the damage. The damage? It's the new content that was added, where you can do like get points by doing like the high score challenges, and then you get tickets, and then you exchange those tickets for units. We had a bunch of them in the last patch that I didn't really talk about, but for this patch we get blue. It seems like they might add 1 per patch, or a few every patch, or like 1 every so often, which is nice. So it's blue. He is going to be a sprint roll, which is super good, because again, you want more sprint sync pairs to use in Battle Rally. And because this is a Battle Rally unit, let's go ahead and look at the theme skills. Kanto, Champion, Rival, Psychic, So those are kind of the theme skills that are relevant for Alakazam in Battle Rally. I'm not really going to talk about Alakazam's kit because I personally don't think Alakazam is that good. I think it has a lot of defensive, it has a lot of like offensive sync grid tiles, but I'm not really going to talk a lot about this character. This character mainly, in my opinion, is a Battle Rally character that you're going to use for extra bonuses. I really don't think this character is that good. So yeah, I'm not going to really talk a lot about this character. But yeah, there you go. Blue Sprint, a Psychic Sprint sync pair that has Kanto Champion and Rival. There you go. And then another unit that we're going to get is Pokemon Lounge Iono. So if you have Iono from her first run, I think she may have been rerun at like a banner that you can like buy, right? It may have been like a paid banner that she got reran in. But regardless, Iono, if you have her, you can unlock her Trainer Lounge, and she's a support 4-star. And a little bit more relevant in terms of like combat, because Pokemon has raised defense of all ice impact by 1 after you use a status move each battle, or the first turn you use status move, and first aid can heal itself. Again, here's kind of what you expect as a unit that doesn't have 300 defense. So that's what I'm saying. Like the units with 300 defense that we've previously seen are really strong. This unit honestly has high defense. I think at 280 at max 5-star, 280 is actually really strong. But it's just overshadowed by kind of the newer units that we have that have broken the 300 defense threshold. But yeah, not bad in terms of stats, to be honest. I don't think this unit is bad at all. And then we have Protect, so it can guard itself from 1 hit. And then it can lower opponent's special attack. So any support unit that can like lower your enemy's stats, in my opinion, is really good. And also this support unit can raise crit, special attack, and attack, which is super nice. And indeed, I think Iono's sync grid also has a lot of like cool stuff. I think her sync grid is really cool. So it's a free unit if you have Iono, and this is not gonna be a game changer on your account, but it's not a bad unit if you want to use during like legendary gauntlets and stuff like that, right? Indeed. Again, I'm not really going to be talking about Iono Sync Grid here. And then the last character is a Professor Oak. I believe that this is a character that we're going to get for free, 5 copies, similar to like we got with Victor, Inspector, with Bugsy, and Scyther, with Swimsuit Misty and Psyduck, like those units where you get a bunch of them for free. We got Professor Oak. He is going to be support with EX Roll Sprint. I do not recommend you unlock the Sprint EX Roll for Professor Oak. I recommend you unlock Sprint for a better unit, like a Master Fair unit. Just my recommendation. Unless you really like Professor Oak, then, go for it, right? Nidorino, hostile environment, so like more increased likelihood of poisoning. You see that they have Poison Sting, which already has a moderate chance of poisoning. And so paired with hostile environment 3, you have a really good chance of poisoning. Heal move HP recovery 2. So restores the user's HP by 20 after it uses an effect that has a healing tag to it. So basically you have mini potion all. So you're going to heal all your allies and yourself, but it also restores 20 more HP to Nidorino himself, right? So you're going to have 40 increase. You're going to basically potion yourself with your mini potion all, which is nice. And then quick queer. What's a quick queer? No, quick cure. Really good at removing, in my opinion, the trapped effect if you get trapped in the middle of a battle, which sucks. Or flinch. Flinch also sucks when you get rock slided. Low key, pretty good defense. Again, I've been talking about a Pokemon that can break the 300 defense threshold. This Pokemon breaks that 300 defense threshold. Very strong. Again, let's not unlock the EX roll. Let's not do that. And yeah, you have pretty decent HP. You don't quite break through 800 HP, but you do have a lot of defense there. So that's honestly not a bad statted free Pokemon. I'm pretty sure this Pokemon's free. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they're free. Again, I talked about Poison Sting. I talked about Mini Potion All. It can protect. Once again, it can defend itself against a move. In my opinion, I don't really think effect, or I should say the damage guard next effect, I don't think is really that good because it doesn't protect against sync moves. I think once there's something that protects against sync moves, now that's going to be relevant. But if it's just any normal damage, then I don't really think it's that relevant. And in Dreams and Adventures, applies the special damage reduction effect to the ally sync pair. I mean, I think that's relevant. Basically, what other Pokemon has this like light screen effect, like Lyra and Meganium? All right, I'm sure there's others, but I can't think of them. That new, what's it? Bell something Bellia with the Swoobat also has it. Regardless, raise special defense of all ally sync pairs by 4, and applies the gradual healing effect. So that's really good. Not only do you get the potion all effect, but you also get gradual healing, which is always nice for a support sync pair to just give it to everybody. And it raises your special defense. Of course, I have sync grid for this sync pair. I'm sure this sync pair is going to be free. And again, -8 energies. If this sync pair is free, that means you can get 5 copies pretty easily, I think. And if you can get 5 out of 5 copies, then why not just make a really nice sync grid here? Flag Bearer Manine. So this Pokemon can increase attack of all ally sync pairs, and it can also increase, I think, special attack. I'm not sure exactly where it is. I could be wrong. Me when I spread misinformation, perhaps? Yeah, maybe it can only raise attack and not special attack. My bad. It can also fully raise crit. You just have to get really lucky. If Dreams and Adventures refreshes twice for some reason, you can fully raise your team's crit. Again, you can only use this move once. You can only use it one time, and so you kind of have to get lucky. So maybe not the best to do this. But hey, why not, right? And then Poison Sting move gauge refresh 9 is always nice to always get your move gauge back when you use a 1 move gauge attack. And then has a 100% chance of restoring the user's HP when attacking against a poison enemy. That's going to be nice, so you can basically heal yourself even more on top of the healing potential you already have. And indeed. So not a bad unit in terms of healing potential and kind of defense-based stat here. So not bad. Not bad. And of course, this unit is going to be free, I think. I shouldn't say of course this unit is going to be free. I think this unit is going to be free. So a nice option for everyone to get. Indeed. So in summary, I think that Elio and Stakataka is a really, really powerful defensive unit. I think not only is this a really good defensive unit, but because of Alola Circle defensive and Rock Zone, this unit is also pretty good at comboing with characters like Olivia, with characters like Celine, Alt. And of course, you can always use your other rock sync pairs, like your Dianthas, your Blues, your Train Duo guys, I got technically one of them. But yeah, I think Elio is going to be, Elio's super strong. And of course, I really do like the EX Sprint roll with him too. So I think he's really strong. I think Celine, I'm not sure if she's going to be our strongest rock sync pair of the game. We have a lot of strong rock sync pairs. Is Celine going to be the strongest? I think when you pair her with Elio, I think she has a chance of being the strongest. The Alola Analysis defensive, the Alola Circle defensive, the Alola Circle special, the Rock Zone. I think it's building up to be a really strong combo here. And then the Meteor Blast is doing a tons of damage on all opponents. It does a tons of damage. And I think that these two characters together are going to be very strong. I think Celine by herself is strong too. But I think if you get both of them together, you have a really strong kind of rock core. Goodbye, Olivia. You're being replaced for free-to-play. Well, free-to-play players are going to use Olivia, right? I think Nomona, again, I'm not exactly sure how her second passive works. If her second passive works with Booster Energy and Our Greatest Battle, then I think she is filthy because she can summon Paldea Circle like 5 times in a battle. If it's reduced to Sunny Day, I don't think she is that good. I think she is okay. We recently just got Gladion, who's a fairy strike sync pair, and that character is very strong too. So I don't know, is he gonna be stronger than Nomona here? There's some competition, but if energetic student council president, if it's as strong as it could be, then this unit is gonna be very powerful. And we have Arven. I think Arven has a lot of potential to do interesting things. You can go with the defensive kind of style, or you can go with the offensive style. So I think he gives you a few options there. I think that blue is going to be a really good battle rally unit. That's all I have to say. I think Iono is going to be a really good legendary gauntlet unit. That's all I really gotta say. And then I think Professor Oak is pretty okay. I think he can definitely have his use case scenarios just because you can get 5 out of 5 copies of him if he's free. And I think yeah, a lot of healing potential with this character. I think a lot of healing potential with this character, which is nice. So what will I be doing personally? Well, anniversary is coming up, and so obviously I'll be saving for anniversary because I'm gonna splooge on all the anniversary units. However, I actually do want to roll for Nemona. I don't really have a Paldea unit on my account yet. I don't think I do. I think. I'm pretty sure I don't. I have Rika. I lie. Me when I spread information. I have Rika. I do want to get Gita one day. And I do want... But I think I am going to roll for Nemona just because, holy crap, Screamtail is so cute. Again, if you watch my Pokemon Scarlet playthrough, my Screamtail is like my my beloved Pokemon in my Kitakami run. And also, I played TCG, and one of my favorite decks is actually Screamtail EX. I homebrewed a Screamtail EX deck, and that deck is just terrible. It's just absolutely terrible. But I get to use Screamtail, so so it's super fun. So yeah, this is mainly I'm rolling because of Screamtail. I don't really need a fairy sync pair. I don't really need Paldean Circle. I don't really need Nemona, but I mean Screamtail, so they all do for the Screamtail. Indeed, and the other characters is like, yeah, I'm not really gonna go for Arvin. I'm not really gonna go for blue. I think I have really good psychic options. I don't really need a psychic sprint pair, I think. And of course I can't get Iono, and Professor Oak is going to be free, so I think we're all going to get him, I think. So anyways, that's it. I think it's going to be an interesting patch. I'm going to roll for Nemona, I believe. And there's also going to be reruns of Marnie and Hop and Bayday. So that's going to be super exciting too if you want to roll for those characters. But that's it. Moral of the story, save for anniversary because anniversary is going to be lit and you don't want to miss out. And indeed, yep. Thank you for watching your beautiful DeWarioR. I respect you if you watch to the end of this analysis video because, I mean, they're usually not that good. And I'll catch you in another one. All right, see you guys then.